Think about the people in your life right now. I guarantee you know at least one person who is practically a ghost online. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Their Instagram has 3 photos from 2018. Their Facebook profile picture is a landscape. They never post stories, they don't tweet, and they definitely don't make TikToks. They just lurk, quietly observing the digital world without ever leaving a footprint. In a society where 5 billion people are practically screaming, "Look at me." Why are some people perfectly content being invisible? Most people assume they're just shy, or maybe they aren't tech savvy. But the truth? The psychology behind people who refuse to post is incredibly deep. And what they understand about life is something the rest of us are slowly starting to forget. Somewhere along the line, the internet subtly rewrote the fundamental rule of human existence. The great philosopher Descartes once said, "I think, therefore I am." Today, society has changed that to, "I post, therefore I matter." Every single day, millions of us wake up and go to work as the unpaid PR managers of our own lives. We curate, we filter, we write captions. We are constantly engaged in something psychologists call identity crafting. Every post is essentially an unconscious audition for belonging. We upload a piece of ourselves and ask the world, "Is this good enough? Do you approve of me?" But the people who don't post, they have handed in their resignation to that PR firm. They have realized something crucial. Social media isn't a mirror, it's a stage, and they are exhausted by the performance. They aren't trying to prove who they are to an audience of strangers. They're too busy trying to actually understand themselves. By refusing to perform, they detach their self-worth from digital applause. They don't hate social media, they just refuse to reduce their complex, beautiful, messy lives into a 2-dimensional highlight reel. There's a fascinating concept in psychology known as psychological ownership. It's the profound feeling that something belongs entirely to you. A memory, a thought, a victory, a quiet moment. But here's the catch. The second you take a moment and post it online, that sense of ownership evaporates just a little bit. The moment is no longer purely yours. It becomes shared property. It is now open to the public, open to misinterpretation, to judgment, to envy, or worse, to being completely ignored. Have you ever noticed that taking a picture of your food somehow makes you taste it a little less? Or that filming a concert means you aren't really feeling the music? People who stay off the feed are actively guarding their psychological ownership. They want to keep their moments sacred, untouchable. When they laugh, they just laugh. When they see a beautiful sunset, they let it wash over them, knowing that the sun will go down and the moment will disappear forever. And they are okay with that. They know that some things are just too precious to feed to an algorithm. But this choice goes much deeper than just protecting memories. It's actually rooted in neurochemistry. Social media was built by some of the smartest engineers in the world to be a slot machine for your brain. Every like, every comment triggers a hit of dopamine. Over time, we become conditioned. We actually begin to experience our lives based on how shareable they are. To step outside of that loop isn't just a quirky personality trait. It's an act of incredible psychological discipline. Psychologists note that people who don't post often possess a very strong internal locus of control. This means they believe their happiness, their worth, and their direction in life come from within. They don't need the digital echo chamber to tell them they look good today. They don't need 100 comments to validate their vacation. They have achieved the ultimate flex of the modern age: identity security. They know exactly who they are, even when the room is completely empty and no one is watching. Now, we have to be honest here. The silence of the non-poster isn't always some enlightened Zen choice. Sometimes that silence is born out of pure exhaustion, a quiet retreat. Many people who stop posting do so because they hit a wall of emotional burnout. They experienced what psychologists call self-presentational pressure, the exhausting, suffocating weight of feeling like you're constantly on display. They started looking at everyone else's perfect vacations, perfect relationships, and perfect bodies, and the comparison began to poison their own joy. So they stepped away, not out of bitterness, but out of self-preservation. They realized that visibility comes with a heavy tax on your mental health. They chose the peace of being unseen over the anxiety of being perceived. When you stop posting your life online, something incredibly beautiful happens to your relationships offline. A natural filter is applied to your life. You suddenly discover who actually checks in on you without a notification reminding them it's your birthday. You learn who reaches out just to hear your voice, rather than just reacting to your story with a fire emoji. The people who don't post trade digital closeness for real intimacy. Their connections feel heavier, warmer, and infinitely more real. They save their best stories not for a caption, but for when they are sitting right across the table from you. So the next time you look at someone's profile and see a blank grid, don't assume they're boring. Don't assume they have nothing going on. Chances are their life is richer and more vibrant than you can imagine. They have just remembered a quiet truth that the rest of the world has forgotten. You do not owe the world a performance. You do not need an audience to matter. Sometimes the most beautiful, meaningful, and profound thing you can do is live a life so entirely yours that you don't even feel the need to prove it happened.